ang 45. I mean, we have a lot has come already, no? Gusto nato i-greet ang tanan nga naa diri karon sa Zoom, and we would like to welcome
Recording
everyone
in
to
progress.
Alintanahin, no? Alintanahin, serye ng webinar para sa kalusugang ng kaisipan. So October, we are celebrating mental health, no? And gusto po nating ipalaganap ang usaping mental health. This is very relevant, very needful sa ating panahon ngayon. So gusto na ako i-greet ang tanan nga naa diri, especially those that are tuned in right now via Zoom. Ako ang nakit-an diri, ubay-ubay na gyud na naa sa Zoom, no? Maayong hapon sa tanan. I know some of you also may be watching or maybe nag-log in and is now abroad, nasa abroad. So good evening, good morning, or unsa man galing ay inyong panahon dira, or unsa baka oras dira. We're so happy to have you this afternoon. And also, we would like to greet our viewers na gatan-aw pinaagi sa ato ang Facebook page. As of this moment, also everyone, I would like to inform you that we are live sa Facebook page po ng ADRA Philippines. And we will be sharing also this telecast this event sa Hope Channel South Philippines din po na page. Now, I would like to see everyone that is here. Okay lang ba na i-turn on po natin ang ating mga videos, no? Kinsa man natong mga kauban diri. Kung you can turn on your videos para makita po sa ato ang speaker this afternoon. And also, everyone, mag-upload, we will be uploading also this background that I have here right now para beautiful tangganan, no? So, we'll be uploading sa chat box also po ang ating background. This is the official background ng ating webinar na Alintanahin. Last week, a little recap, was the first presentation natin sa Alintanahin na serye ng webinar on mental health. That presentation was powerfully presented or given by Dr. Orbon Grijalvo, from Adventist University of the Philippines.
Mas maraming loans, diba? Yung matanda yung muntik.
We talked about din po a lot about mental health at school. Natutunan po natin. Marami tayong natutunan last time. And this afternoon, mental health at work naman ang pag-uusapan po natin. Ayan. Turn on na ba yung mga cameras nyo nandito sa Zoom? I want to see and say, ayun! Ayun, I'd like to say hi to Ma'am Punay, Ma'am Arlene, from NDM, Kaway. Ma'am Lynn Pancho is also here. Hi, Ma'am Lynn, she's watching. She's in Australia right now. We have Ma'am Narish also. Ma'am Amy Rain, Kurt Eric Bahani, hello po. Irma Franco, Russell Ani, Rigel Villaver. We also have Miss Madilu. Hello, Ma'am Madilu. We saw you. You were very early. So Sir Arnie.
Hi, Ma'am Shan.
Hello po. Good afternoon. So happy to see you here, Ma'am Madilu. We also have Sir Jonathan, Jarrell, Ma'am Love Fresco. A lot of teachers coming from Digo Central Adventist Academy. Hello po sa inyo lahat. We have also their peer facilitators na apod diri, no? We would like to welcome all of you. I will not be able to mention each and everybody that is here. We also have David, Neil Baol. Hi, David. Mga kasamahan po namin, we'd like to say hi sa amo ang mga kauban, mga kasamahan po ng Adventist Mental Health Association ng South Philippine Union Conference. Very sad, mag-split na po tayo, but still, our push and our advocacy for mental health I believe, will mas ma-empower pa yun siya tungod pod ani, no? So we have John, David, Diana, Roldan, everybody na andito po. You may be from schools, you may be a student, you may be a teacher or a worker. I believe this is for you. Ayun. Now, ayun po. So, as of this moment, also, I would like to request everyone, ayan na, dyan sa group chat po natin yung official background po natin. So, maybe you can click on that para makita, ma-download ninyo, and you can use our official background. And at this juncture sa ating programa, we would like to request everyone to close their eyes as I pray. Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we are gathered this afternoon, dear Lord, for a very important conversation. We all know, dear God, how important it is for you that we should prioritize our mental health. We thank you, dear Father in heaven, for this opportunity to gather together and participate in this webinar on mental health entitled ALINTANAHIN. And this afternoon, we have a powerful speaker. We believe you have called her to be with us. And I pray, dear Father in heaven, that every moment for the next 1 hour and 30 minutes, this will be moments that will help us, that will motivate us, that will teach us, especially how we can go about sa amo apod gyud pod na mental health. Thank you that your spirit will hover all around us, and we surrender everything unto you. Please sustain our internet connections, our gadgets, that we will be able to go about this afternoon's program smoothly. We pray also for our viewers on Facebook and everyone that's taking part in this. We surrender everything unto you now. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Ayun. Okay. So, let me... na. Daghan na gyud ang gasulod. Sorry if gatabok-tabok ko between English, Bisaya, o Tagalog, no? Dili ko kabalo, pero I believe we also have participants coming from different parts of the Philippines. Now, ngayon po, I would just like to share with all of us our house rules. Okay? So, if nandito kayo last time, this will just go very quickly. And for everybody na bago lang, ito po ang ating mga house rules. Okay? House rule number 1. Unang-una, we're inviting everybody to type in, change your name right now, and you can enter your most comfortable name to call you when logging in into this webinar. Second, we're inviting everyone to put on your video on and use the Zoom background provided through email or through the email that we sent or dito po sa chat box natin. Third, audio is through your computer speakers or headset. So you may not hear sound until webinar begins. I think I'm very clear right now. Fourth, if you see presenters talking but not hear audio, use the chat feature to everyone to indicate you are not getting sound, okay? And then also, lastly, for this page, audio check. Use the audio settings option to do a sound check. So check nyo po yung mga sound nyo. Kung hindi nyo po kami naririnig, baka may kailangan tayong i-troubleshoot sa settings. And also, please be reminded, kani kabalo na magyutaan no, kay perminti magita na sa Zoom pod, please mute your microphone when not in use. Only ask question during the time of the open forum. So this is really after our resource person speaks. So if you have questions in mind, kung meron po kayong mga katanungan and then yung speaker natin ay nagsasalita pa, you can put your questions sa chat box po natin. And then kami po, I will be taking note of those questions, tapos ibabato po natin sa ating resource person. You can use actively the chat box for any comments during the discussion, and then the attendance link. So yung link po ng attendance, yung makaka-receive po ng certificate for this afternoon session, dun lang po natin ibibigay or ifa-flash ang attendance list link pagkatapos po ng webinar. Gusto po namin masiguro na we are together the whole time na nagsasalita po yung ating resource person. Again, we'd like to remind everyone yung attendance link po natin will be sent to you via chat box at the end in the end of the webinar. And I think that's it para po sa ating house rules. Once again, I would like to welcome everyone to Alintanahin, serye ng webinar sa kalusugan ng isipan. This is brought to you by ADRA Philippines or Adventist Development and Relief Agency. Partner po namin ng Adventist Mental Health Association, SPUC, Adventist University of the Philippines, Adventist Hospital Davao, Hope Channel Philippines, and of course, our Seventh-day Adventist Church. And ngayon po, para makilala, to get to know more about our speaker, I would like to give the time sa ating fundraising officer ng ADRA Philippines na si Miss Catherine Lucas.
Hello po. So, good afternoon sa everyone. Naririnig niyo po ba ako? Yes. Okay. So, for my part po for this afternoon is to introduce to you our speaker or presenter. So, she is from Butuan City. And she is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Psychology as cum laude in the class of 2017 at St. Joseph Institute of Technology in Butuan. She is also a licensed registered psychometrician and certified life coach. She is a member of Philippine Adventist Counselors, Psychometricians, and Psychologists Association as to 2021 up to present. Also, she is a member of Psychological Association of the Philippines and a NAM coordinator of Adventist Mental Health Association or AMHA 2022 at present. She worked as Community Empowerment Facilitator of DSWD Field Office Caraga for 1 year and also worked as Human Resource Officer for 1 year at the same department. And also right now, she's a regional training specialist as of 4 years until now, DSWD Field Office Caraga. She's also taking, as of today, her master's in psychology, major in counseling psychology at Adventist University of the Philippines. Now, I give the time to our speaker, Ma'am Princess Jane S. Cahig.
Ayan. Thank you, Ma'am Kat, for that very kind introduction. Can you all hear and see me? Ayan. Okay, I think that's a yes. So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. I thank the Lord for giving me this opportunity. I'm very humbled to be part of this series. And of course, thank you to Ma'am Chantel and to the rest of the ADRA Philippines team for this initiative on the Mental Health Awareness Month program. And I liked the title of our webinar series, ALINTANAHIN, and I researched about it. And it's actually a Filipino term for taking notice or given care or attention to. And that's very beautiful because in this time of social media and technology, there's just a lot of things that is trying to get your attention, right? But right now, we give this time for this time, alintanahin natin ang ating lusog isip, our mental health. So that's very beautiful. Kudos to the whole team who really thought about this. Ayan. So I'll be sharing now my presentation, but I think, okay, sige. So the team will be presenting my presentation. All right. So welcome to our second session. This will be about mental health at work. We'll be talking about how mental health work at work naman. Since previously, I was not able to join real time online with Professor Myrtle, but I was able to watch the whole replay thanks to the Facebook Live technology. We're able to do that on our own pace. And that's very beautiful presentation. And now we shift our perspective from school to work, to the work industry. So I have been working in the HR industry for 1 year in recruitment and 4 years in learning and development, which is still a pillar of the HR, human resource, ayan, sa DSWD. So we'll be sharing a lot more on that. So, but this time, okay, next, I'd like to check up on you. So I believe we are all, I think majority of all of us here are working professionals. And I don't know if we can chat on the chat box or maybe on the comment section on live, where can we do that, or can we do this? Because I can, my chat is disabled here. Can we do this, Ma'am Shan?
Yes, we can
Okay.
chat. Yes,
Okay.
okay.
So our participants can chat. So I'd like you to describe your work using the first letter of your name. For example, my name is PJ. So maybe I would describe my work as P for pagod na. No, you can do something like that, or just be honest about describing your work and how you are in your work. And then I'll be reading your comments, I think, on the chat box if we can. And can we go back first? Ayan, from Ma'am Shan, for Ate Shan, sagad na. No? That's very true. That's very relatable. How about everyone? It could be positive adjectives. If you can think of positive adjectives, of course, on work, on the line of work that you do. P for, I believe mine, since I am in the social welfare and development, so that would be my line of work. Although we are just in the administrative support, I believe it's purposeful. So I believe I am planted there because I am able to contribute something. And so I think you're thinking of that, so that would suffice. So let's proceed. It's just a way of us to ask ourselves, kumusta na tayo as working professionals? Sige, next. Okay, ayan. So, kumusta ka na? Maybe you should, let's have a mental health check-in, because if you say that you're okay, the most common answer to this question would be, okay lang, I'm fine. Or something like, you don't have to worry about me, I'm okay, humihinga pa rin, no? Something like that. But mental health is a continuum. Sometimes we're on a bad side, bad mood, bad state, not good. And that is okay. And sometimes also we're on the excellent side, very good side. We feel very good about our work. We feel very good about our lives. We feel very good about what we do, no, on our state. Especially, this is very true, especially if we can see the impact of our work in helping other people. That's very fulfilling. At the same time, the most practical reason would be excellent tayo kapag ting sweldo na, diba? Kung sweldo day. So that would be the most practical answer to the question, kumusta na? And if we're excellent, perhaps we're bagong sweldo, no, 15th or 30th. But anyway, if you answered na, hindi ako okay, I'm in a bad state right now, not good, that is totally normal. Why? Next. Okay. Ayan. Because, sige, we can next show the whole slide. Ayan, thank you. So, if you said na you're not in a good position right now, that is totally normal. Because number one, sinong hindi mas-stress sa ating high inflation rates, no? So, tumataas na ang presyo ng bigas and lahat naman tayo ay kumakain ng bigas. So, which is very hard for us working professionals because we're also supporting our families, diba? And we would like to also give to our families and provide for them. So that's very stressful. So hindi natin makontrol no ang inflation. Second thing is the unpredictable weather. The global warming, the climate change is very alarming already. During this time, hindi natin ma-predict ang weather na no if uulan, if mainit ba ngayon, especially Burr months, dapat ano na ngayon malamig natin cold season na, but still it's very hot, so it's very alarming. And sometimes kapag sobrang init, nasistress din tayo. And what else? There's a lot of death reports, the news outside, no? The war and violence. And although we're not directly affected by war and violence and this death, but when hearing about all of this news, we are unconsciously taking it in, and we are unconsciously indirectly affected. And of course, dagdag pa natin ang mga workloads, mga deadlines na nape-pressure tayo, wala na tayong oras, wala na tayong social life, wala na tayong pahinga, no? Sometimes we're like that. And so when I ask you again, kumusta ka? Next. Okay, ayan. So if you answered bad or not good, that is totally natural. That is normal, especially as working professional. Sige, next. Ayan. So perhaps you feel physically and emotionally exhausted in your line of work. No? Ako personally, I feel really physically and emotionally exhausted. And there's just a lot of schedules coming in, and parang wala nang pahinga. So we really need to be intentional in our rest, because if we're just passing by and passive in our rest time, we can never really find time to rest. No? So somehow, perhaps, siguro, you are experiencing physical and emotional exhaustion. What else? Perhaps you are these days irritable na tayo. If you can observe, no, some of our working professionals are irritable na, maybe because of the work pressure that constantly nafe-face natin sa ating work. And what else? So you identify yourself if you are experiencing this behavioral tendencies, ha? And sino sa inyo dito ang have difficulty sleeping? That's what we call insomnia or hypersomnia, parating tulog, no? So that could be some signs of stress. Ayan. Next. Reduced ability to feel sympathy or empathy. Ayan. So especially with ADRA, you are in a helping profession. So constantly you are facing people who are in need, people who are struggling, people who are asking for your help. And sometimes when we are so much immersed into giving empathy, na burn out na tayo, then it will somehow result to our reduced ability to feel sympathy or empathy. What else? Hypervigilance. This is happening if parating tense ang ating nervous system. So if our nervous system, specifically our sympathetic nervous system, automatic ma-activate siya kapag we are under stress. Now, what's hard about it is that kahit wala na kayo sa stressful situation and your system is still hypervigilant, you're still under stress, your sympathetic nervous system is still activated. So what happens? Na-burn out tayo because kahit wala namang problema, dinadala natin sa bahay, and we're hyper vigilant, kaya We have difficulty sleeping, difficulty concentrating, and it's just so heavy. So perhaps you're feeling that way. What else? Exaggerated sense of responsibility, especially working professionals who are very used to helping. They have identified themselves as helpers. So when someone offered them help, they're hesitant to do that because they're so used to helping. So they have this exaggerated sense of responsibility. Problema ng iba nagiging problema natin. We absorb their stress. We absorb the problems and the trauma of others. So that's happening. And sometimes it's so hard for us to say no. Okay, that's another sign. Next is worst case scenario. Because of stress, because of burnout, baka nawawalan na tayo ng pag-asa. We feel hopelessness, worthlessness, guilt in our system, and that is because of different negative circumstances that is happening in our lives. So if you are experiencing most of these symptoms, perhaps maybe you are experiencing this, what we call, next, compassion fatigue. Okay, so if you're already experiencing physical and emotional exhaustion, irritability, insomnia, reduced ability to feel sympathy, hypervigilance, exaggerated sense of responsibility, and loss of hope, perhaps you're experiencing compassion fatigue. What is compassion fatigue? Compassion fatigue is a profound emotional and physical exhaustion that helping professionals, missionaries, and caregivers can develop over the course of their career as helpers. So very vulnerable ang mga helping professionals. If your work is in the line of social services or giving care to others, something like that, and you are mostly immersed with the problems and struggles of others, you are risk with compassion fatigue. So this is a gradual erosion of all the things that keeps us connected to other in our role. It maybe sometimes we feel disconnected with others because we're so much exhausted. We do not feel already empathy just like before. Our hope is gone. Of course, our compassion is gradually eroding. So not only for others, but for ourselves. Parang, it's like being thirsty, and even if you drink a lot of water, there is no amount of water that can, quench your thirst. That's how we elaborate the compassion fatigue. So we as a working professionals, we are risk of this. So we need to take into account or alintanahin natin ang ating mental health as working professionals so that we can prevent from happening this. All right, so proceed. So according to Naomi Remen, the expectation that we can be immersed in suffering and loss daily and not be touched by it is as unrealistic as expecting to be able to walk through water without getting wet. It's entirely possible to walk on water without getting wet. And at the same time, it's also entirely impossible to be immersed in suffering daily, especially with our work, and not be touched by it. So we are really affected one way or another. So since our circumstances, our environment, we cannot control, our control only is ourselves. So we will talk about how we can better manage ourselves and our mental health at work. Okay, next. So in this presentation, hopefully, my prayer would be at the end of the session, we will be able to gain awareness on different mental health challenges at work and how we can manage them both individually, us ourselves work as working professionals, and organizationally, how we can transform our organizations as to become people-oriented or to become a mentally healthy place to work. Okay. Sige, next. All right, so the survey statistics. This is the mental health of the Filipino workers. Number one, 1/3 of our life is spent at work, and that is an average of 90,000 hours in our lifetime. So basically, that would be cliche to say, but it is true that work is life. No, if we can weigh it in, no, we are spending 1/3 of our life at work. So we really need to take this into account because it's affecting the entirety of our life. Next. Today, there are 48.84 million Filipinos that are part of our workforce, especially because Gen Zs are now coming, are now coming inside and joining the workforce, and there are many workers today in the Philippines. So that's a huge amount. Next. According to a study, 70% of Gen Zs and 63% of millennials in the Philippines are experiencing burnout. Okay, so this is a study, and 70%, 60% is a really large percentage. So we need to also do something to mitigate this, to help these young workers, no, in order for them to also thrive in the working industry. Next. 45% blamed financial pressure for the mental health problems, and next, 31% reported suffering burnout due to a lack of attention being given to their mental health. So, number one, financial pressure. Of course, we need money to live. So, sometimes, yung sweldo natin, for example, 10,000, yung bill naman natin is 9,999. So at least may piso pa tayo. So it's something like that. So financial pressure because of inflation, because we need to provide for our families, and we also have our basic needs, no? And 31% also reported because their organization have not given enough attention, especially in mental health program and prevention. Okay. Next. So why do people work? So let's present the whole slide, please. So of course, people work because of financial benefits. That's the practical reason. Yeah? We work because we need money. We need money for our family, for our needs. But aside from that, we are also working because in our work we get our sense of purpose. We can gain a sense of purpose that we are able to contribute to our community. We are able to use our strength, use our abilities, no, in contributing to a larger goal for the welfare of others, no. What else? To hone our skills, no? It is in our work that we're able to, number one, discover some of our skills, acknowledge that we have the skill, and at the same time develop and improve them. What else? Social connections. Of course, a lot of our social connections are because we have met in our work. So these are the most common reasons that people reported and why they work according to 2022 Gallup poll survey. Okay, next, please. So basically, when we say that work is life, because how we spend our days is how we spend our lives, and how much time do we spend in our work? It's 8 to 5 in the basic working hours in government. We spend 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. in our work, and that's entirely the rest of the day, you know. So and then we spend only few hours in our homes, in our families, and the rest of that is we spend sleeping. So basically we are using all of our time, most of our time, at work. So your job can make a huge impact on your quality of life. How you take care of yourself at work makes a huge impact on how quality is your life is. Okay, next. So this is now the situation. Okay, we can present all of that. So this is now the situation of our Filipino workers. They report to suffer mental issues, mental health concerns, and we are under mental health crisis. And this is an epidemic, a rising epidemic in the Philippines, according to the Philippine News Agency. So, given this statistics and facts and news, I think it's the right time to talk about and discuss how we can foster mental health in the organization and in ourselves as a working professional. So firstly, let's go with the organization. So we'll be presenting tips on and how we can promote mental health at work, both the organization as a whole. If you are in the top management or in your leadership roles, we can use this. At the same time, later on, we will also talk about individual working professional and how we can manage it in ourselves. Okay, next. So according to the HR source, people are an organization's most valuable asset and the key to its success. So every HR, the motto will be, the human resource is always and always be the organization's greatest resource. No, so the aim, the goal of an organization cannot be met and cannot be reached without the people. So although we have different resources, tools, and many things that we've been using at work, without people, it will not be really successful. So in the HR, the role of HR is to really take care of people, how they can empower the human resource, so that if we take care the people or the human resource, they can take care of the organization itself. Okay, next. So we need an HR transformation. I mean, a few years back, we are still in the process driven, where the organization, every organization looks into how they can improve their processes, how they can serve the clients. You know, I mean, that is very helpful. But according to the studies of in the human resource, especially in the human resource management and development, we need to transform our human resource, our organization, from focusing on process to focus on how we can give people or foster a mentally healthy working environment for our people, so that the people or the human resource can take care of providing good quality service. So these are the benefits, next please, of transforming our HR from process-driven to people-driven. We can create committed and motivated individuals if we take care of the people. Positive and effective communications, which means lesser conflicts and better results, better and productive work. Highly satisfied customers. So you see, if we take care of people, of the human resource, of the workforce itself, they can take care of how they can give good and satisfactory service to the customers. So yeah, it's a domino effect. Increased revenues and organizational growth. So increased employee retention rates, which means that, you know, although the salary is somehow the major concern of every working professional, but most of our working professional would really prefer a work that is good for them, that is psychologically and physically, where they are psychologically and physically safe, than getting a large amount of salary and then being toxic and all of that. So we increase our employer retention rates, which means that lesser turnover. So hindi lumalabas ang ating employees, ang workforce from your organization, because they feel that they are important and they are part of the organization's success. So, and lastly, attract talent pools, which means that maraming highly competent candidates around that is very interested in joining your organization because you highly take care of your people. That's the benefit of the HR transformation from process-driven to people-driven. Okay, next. Now, according to the U.S. Surgeon General framework, so I've used this because I think this is a very comprehensive framework, especially in how we can shift from process-driven to people-driven, or the human resource-driven. So these are 5 essential engines of well-being, 5 essential needs of every working professional, or your workforce. So if we provide these 5 essential engines to the workforce, they are able to become highly engaged and produce better and productive results. Okay, so let's talk about that shortly. So number 1 would be protection. So this lies into 2 human needs, such as safety and security. So every organization, we must promote and create a condition for physical and psychological safety that is critical for ensuring workplace mental health and well-being. When a worker feels that they are safe, psychologically, physically, mentally, no, and they are secured in your organization, they are able to become highly engaged employees. No, how can we do that as an organization? We prioritize workplace physical and psychological safety, enable adequate rest. No, you don't want to really strain your workforce into working, and then they cannot provide good quality results. So we need to enable them to have adequate rest, normalize and support mental health, and of course, operationalize the DIA, or the diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility, to prevent discrimination in the work. Discrimination, no, workplace bullying. We are able to prevent all of that by operationalizing through our norms and policies and programs within the organization. So that's it. Second would be connection and community. So as working professional, we really need this. You know, we want to be part of an organization that we feel connected to, no? Because here lies our 2 human needs: social support and belongingness. So if we foster positive social interactions and relationships in the workplace, we are able to support the workers' well-being. So how can we do that? In DSWD, we provide, of course, I mean, all of our organizations, I believe the aim of our team building workshops, providing stress management trainings, and caring for the carers training, is because we wanted our workforce to become connected and to create a community within, and to strengthen the teamwork, because this is how we create a highly engaged workforce. You know? So we create cultures of inclusion and belonging, cultivate trusted relationships, foster collaboration and teamwork. And another thing for connection and community is that we are able to share experiences, share our struggles, share our difficulties within our workmates. Now, if we feel connected with the whole team, we are able to win over every stressful deadline, every stressful mga targets that we have, and deliverables. So an organization must take into account that their team, that their workforce are connected and has built community within. So next is work-life harmony. So every working professional needs to have autonomy and flexibility. So this is what the workforce is trying to find in an organization, where they can also have life outside their work. No? Organizations must see workers not only for their work roles, but as whole people. Now, for an organization, especially our top management leaders, they need to account that their workers are not machines. We're not machines, okay? So we need also a time outside of our work. So we do not see them as accountants, as project development officers. We don't see them as doctors and what else? an HR officer, perhaps, no, we don't see them entirely like that, but we see them as whole people, that they have lives also outside from their roles. So we can do that by providing them autonomy over how work is done. This is entirely true when pandemic came in. The organizations adopted the flexible working arrangements, where we can have the autonomy to choose to work from home, no, and that's a good initiative, especially in protecting our workforce. Now, make schedules as flexible and predictable as possible, increase access to paid leave, and respect boundaries between work and non-work time. Although there are some organizations that are really rigid on this, and they cannot give you all the support, especially if grabe ka demanding ang work that you are in. So we need also, as working individuals, we need to also invest in our multidimensional identity, which means that we should not rely our worth into the work that we have right now. For example, you do not really entirely identify yourself as a ADRA officer, as a project development officer, as a doctor, as an engineer, or as an accountant, as an attorney. You do not entirely identify yourself with that identity, but we have to take account that we are multidimensional identity, that we still have identities outside of our working profession. So although I am an HR officer, I am also a sibling, a friend. I also love arts and music. If we invest into multidimensional identity, even one of that is gone, you are still you. So we need to we need to strengthen our identity so that we can be resilient in whatever circumstance that we can face later on in life. Okay, next. Fourth is mattering at work. So I don't know. I think this is what the workforce is now trying to achieve, to have a purposeful and meaningful work, especially that they see that they are contributing to a larger goal. So this is one of the engines in taking care of our workforce, lying into two human needs, the dignity and meaning. People want to know that they matter to those around them and that their work matters. Knowing you matter has been shown to lower stress, while feeling like you do not can raise the risk of depression. So how can an organization do that? We could provide a living wage. We could engage workers in workplace decisions. So we include them in the decision making. We also take account their voice and their comments and their feedback, and how we can grow as an organization. So if the voice of our workers are heard, they feel valued at work. Now, build a culture of gratitude and recognition. So in HR, there are 4 pillars. That is recruitment and selection, performance management, and third would be rewards and recognition. So it's very essential for a worker to be able to feel that they are recognized by the efforts that they make, and they see that the organization is grateful for the contribution that he or she is making. And lastly, connect individual work with the organizational mission. It's very nice, as a worker, that we see that although I am just working as an administrative support, but when the organization is clear in their pathway, I can see clearly that this work that I'm doing is actually directly connected to the entirety of the organizational mission. When our workforce sees how they contribute to the whole organizational mission, they feel that they matter, their contribution matters. And that's very very helpful in the mental health of our workforce, because according to studies, it shows to lower stress and it prevents our workers in the risk of depression and many mental health problems. Okay. Lastly would be opportunity for growth. So as I said a while ago, there are 4 pillars in the HR. Third one was rewards and recognition. And lastly would be learning and development. So this is very essential for every working professional to grow from where are they coming from. No? So we improve them, we provide them learning and development interventions, training, scholarships, so that they are able to grow, as a working professional. When organizations create more opportunities for workers to accomplish goals based on their skills and growth, workers become more optimistic about their abilities and more enthusiastic about contributing to the organization. So we capacitate, we give capability building activities and trainings and seminars to our workforce so that they will feel more confident in their abilities and in contributing to the organization. So we can offer quality training, education, and mentoring, foster clear, equitable pathways for career advancement, and ensure relevant reciprocal feedback. So how can I improve from this? What are my weaknesses? So it's very important within the organization that there is a monitoring and evaluation tool in order to identify what are the areas that each worker needs to work out on, and then how can the organization provide, and then evaluate how effective that intervention is. So these are the 5 essential engines. Okay, next please. And the well-being of our workforce inside the organization. So if the organization is taking into account the protection from harm, connection and community, work-life harmony, mattering at work, opportunity for growth for our workforce, then the workforce will be highly engaged. Next, please. And then when we provide our employees with good experience, our workforce with good experience, they are highly engaged and will result to better organizational outcomes. Okay. So that's the organization as a whole. Although, can we go back to that slide again? The 5 engines. Okay. Although, somehow not all organizations can give all of these things, but we can promote this and we can foster this individually. I mean, we also need to make sure that we are psychologically and physically safe. We make connections inside and outside of our work, make community, because social support is a social connection, or connectedness is a greatest and primary factor for resilience. So when a person is resilient, it is because he or she has a very strong social support. Work-life harmony, we find time for rest, we find time for other leisure activities, and then we find meaning in our work, and we are able to give ourselves opportunities for growth by career advancement and professional development or personal development. Okay, so lastly, since we don't have that much time, this is just a quick tips for the mental health of how we can have a better mental health for ourselves as workers. Number 1 is self-awareness. So we need to identify our strengths and weaknesses so that we're able to use our strengths in good ways, and at the same time improve our weaknesses. So I think that's one of the first move into how we can better promote mental health in ourselves, to really get to know ourselves, our weaknesses, our tendencies, so that we can slowly work on it. Second is develop self-efficacy. So self-efficacy, according to Bandura, is your belief that you are able to do something to achieve a desired result. So most of our successful people and successful leaders, they are successful aside from talent, from hard work, from resources and privilege, because they have developed higher self-efficacy. They have believed mataas ang believe nila sa kanilang sarili that they can do something. So we really need to build that self-confidence that we are able to do and contribute something. So one way to develop higher self-efficacy is to master experiences. So the more that we are, for example, you're not really confident into public speaking. The more that you say yes to opportunities to speak, the more the higher self-efficacy that you develop. So we need to develop more and higher self-efficacy. Third is know your emotions. Emotions are everywhere. I always say this. Emotions are everyday experience. It's an everyday experience. So from positive emotions such as happiness and excitement to not so good emotions such as anger and sadness and loneliness. But this range of emotions we experience this daily in our work lives. Especially hindi natin hawak ang ating environment. Baka, andito na naman yung toxic na workmate ko, yung mga ganito. Or andito naman yung maraming pressure na naman. No? So we cannot really control our environment, but we can actually regulate our emotions. So with these circumstances na hindi natin control, it can steer different emotions in us. So it's very important that we know how to regulate our emotions, how to process them so that it do not control us. Because emotions are gentle guides. It does not dictate how you will act or how you will behave. All right. And I always share this in my talk because I love the illustration. Max Lucado said that, have you ever wondered why our emotion or our tears are in our eyes? Why God did not design it that we cry in our armpits or in between our toes or just everywhere that is hidden, so that no one will know that you are crying or that you are having a hard time or you are feeling your emotions. According to this author, he said that our tears are in our eyes, or our immediate reaction to our emotions are seen in our faces because we are designed to show emotions. So stop suppressing your emotions, know them, name them so that you can manage and tame them. Fourth is practice healthy coping mechanisms. So there are a lot of mechanisms that we do so that mawala yung stress natin. One of that is overeating. Tinatawag natin yung stress eating. We eat a lot when we are under stress. And what else? Many also go to unhealthy mechanisms to handle their stress. So in the long run, although it feels good at the moment, but in the long run, it's actually affecting your physical and mental health. So we need to create and plan or practice healthy coping mechanisms. Okay? Sige, number 5, ask for support. Okay, so there was this friend that I have talked many months ago. And she's now in the working industry, and she approached me and talked to me about her problem. And one of the statements that she shared is that for all of her life, never in her lifetime that she was able to hear the statement, "How are you?" from her families and close friends, which means that she was not checked upon, kung kumusta na siya. So that is very, very common, and that is very sad because we expect our families, our close friends to know when we are struggling and to immediately and automatically give help. But sometimes, most of the time, we do not get something that we do not ask. So sometimes it's okay to ask for support so that you can get support. All right. So So I asked her, have you shown that you need help, or have you shown just that because have you shown only your strong and unbothered personality? Because if we put on our mask that we are unbothered, that we are not having difficulties, then our family members, our friends will be having a hard time to give you support. So we need to show them that we are also vulnerable, that we are also having a difficult time, and ask for their support. That is entirely healthy and okay. And at the same time, it's also okay to ask support from our mental health professionals if you are having difficulties. So if you go to psychologists, psychiatrists, that doesn't mean that you are mentally ill. No, it's just that our mental health professionals also know how to manage, will tell you, guide you how you can manage healthily your distress. Lastly is strengthen spiritual connection. I always integrate this in all of my mental health presentations, because I believe that at the core of everything, of all of our struggles, is our spiritual need. Gani, it is proven by a lot of reports, next please, that spiritual connection is actually the strongest protective factor for Filipinos. No? As Christians, our faith is our strongest protective factor. Maybe because, especially my favorite verse in Matthew 11:28, when God said, "Come to me, those who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." We are able to, through our faith, through our relationship,
very much for spending this afternoon with us. And actually, we have good news, no? We have reached our maximum for our participants. And wow, we actually are so happy. Like, lahat kami na nag-organize ng event na to. So happy for everybody that attended, and a lot are trying to come in pa. So we are suggesting everyone na, and we will suggest them for the next session to tune in naman sa Facebook natin for them to catch still ano yung mga conversations natin. Now, PJ, it's time for our open forum. So question and answer portion muna tayo. I would like to request everyone, the chat is open now. You can comment yung mga questions, mga inyong mga